Okay, we're taking a little tour of Carson with Mark Salinas, and he is literally in
I'm literally
the mine.
inside the mind of DaVinci.
Yes.
It's great. Come
and
join
it's
me.
a rainy day, so it's the place to be to stay dry.
That's right. I feel sorry for you, Dana.
So you brought in the mind of DaVinci. That was one of the big things that you've done recently.
This is one of the first pieces of art that was purchased towards the city's art collection as per our Arts and Culture Master Plan that the city passed in February 2016. So Michelle is a local Carson City artist. This piece was actually on the Black Rock Playa at Burning Man, I think in 2015. It's made of steel and concrete. It includes smaller, this is actually a small model of this giant piece that we're in, but as well as reliefs and some smaller imagery actually taken from some of DaVinci's portfolios. We put it on a flatbed and introduced it to the city in the 2017 Nevada Day Parade. So immediately had a lot of exposure. You know, DaVinci was a real, he was a problem solver. He was a creative individual. And we were thinking, what better location than in front of the community center where our elected officials and our community come together to problem solve for the betterment of the community. What a great symbol to have that outside here. It's also strategically placed across the street from our city library. And so we look to make STEAM and STEM and DaVinci days having this sort of be the hub of that creativity and involving the youth.
And we've already seen two pieces. The piece at the McDonald's.
Yeah, Eric Burke's Home in Nevada mural and Abner Rivera's mural. Those are two fantastic large-scale murals that really show off their talent, the talent that we have here at home in Northern Nevada. But moreover, those are two great examples of commissions that were made by property owners, by business owners, who saw an opportunity to bring arts into their own commerce. You know, they commissioned that artist, they sought out the artist, they commissioned the artist, and they advertised for the artist. And I mean, I think that's a great template for other businesses to follow, to see the value of arts in beautifying vacant or vandalized spaces, in arts literally becoming a symbol, a landmark. So we're at the Carson City Courthouse, and we're checking out Rick Parsons' Writing from Mars show. Now this is a show that Capital City Arts Initiative curated and put together. They identified this beautiful, beautiful large space here as a fantastic gallery, pre-existing gallery almost, for some of their work. Now the Capital City Arts Initiative just celebrated their 15th year anniversary this year, and they're one of our finest organizations that are able to bring in contemporary work from outside of Carson City. So Rick's work is a lot of 2D and 3D symbolism based upon stories that he does. As you can see, very colorful, multimedia. He's a professor at Sierra Nevada College. And it's artists like these, when we have receptions, that we get a real good flood of people from Lake Tahoe coming to Carson City. So we're at the Nevada Arts Council's gallery, and we're at Bobby Ann Howell's show, Vistas and Viewpoints. You got to come here and see this work. I met Bobby Ann recently in Las Vegas. She's a program manager for the Southern Office of Nevada Humanities. Now, I've been familiar with her sort of mandala pattern paperwork, but I've never seen any of her photography or drawing. And you can see how the information here translates, the line and shadow translates to some of her work here, not only in white, but also in color. And it's an interesting juxtaposition of the rural, the mountains, with almost like, I would say maybe commercial or industrial manufacturing. Here you see some fantastic play with the lighting, where the shadow itself almost creates a secondary work of art behind the framed work here. Hi, so we're here at the Nevada Arts Association. They're celebrating their 40th year anniversary next year. They just had a fantastic renovation of the facilities. The current show is up now until the end of March, so come by and see it. As you can see, there's a lot of variation here. We have works that are on consignment. We have two-dimensional works. We have three-dimensional works, works on paper, oil, glass, photography, and it's a real great cross-section of the diversity of what Carson City and some of our Northern Nevadan artists make. So please stop by and check us out.
Your title has changed recently, hasn't it?
Yes, so I'm now working for the Municipality of Carson City, and the title is Arts and Culture Coordinator.
So what's your background? Where did you come from?
Oh, let's see. In short, I was born in Ohio, went to school in Missouri, lived in New York City for the past 19 years. Went to school for sculpture and fashion design, started a nonprofit mural organization, and really got to working with my community, and that drove my interest in being on the community board and meeting my elected officials. That sort of background seemed to play hand in hand for what Carson City was advertising for 2016 for an arts and culture coordinator for the city. Cultural Commission and I, we've accomplished some major things. I mean, in 2016, the Board of Supervisors approved an arts and culture master plan, which is a really detailed to-do list for the future of arts and culture for the city. We have purchased and installed our very first large piece of public art outside the community center, which is now a part of the city's art collection. We started the art collection.
That's the Mind of DaVinci.
Yeah, inside the Mind of DaVinci, which was in the Nevada Day Parade. We put together a Capitol Collage, which was a first-time event, a one-night-only sort of carnival-esque fundraiser, which underscored the talent and the diversity of artists throughout the state. So we actually were acting, and that evening we used the Capitol as creative cohesion throughout the state, drawing in our neighbors. And the Art Cultural Commission celebrates its 10th year anniversary this year, and we have our first Latina on the Cultural Commission. In the 50 years that our state arts agency has been around, I'm the first board member representing Carson City. So a lot of local, regional, and statewide levels, I think we've been working together to sort of create this platform for future use.
Yeah, and you were telling me that it's not just Carson. You're like putting your arms out to some of the other rural communities.
Yeah, I think it's so important not to work isolated in a silo, but to really have that communication and that exchange. Certainly among our own arts organizations, but through organizations and artists that are our neighbors. You know, we're a rural capital, and I think it's in everyone's best interest when they can not only work together, but achieve common goals together.
Talking about common goals, what goals do you have for the years to come?
Well, there's some potential good news on the horizon. Pending a Board of Supervisor approval April 19th, Carson City would actually have its first city art gallery, a white box dedicated to featuring the talent not only of our local artists, but a venue for traveling shows, traveling exhibitions, for rental, a venue for arts and entertainment here in downtown Carson City. So fingers crossed on that. That would be a humongous first, and that's where my office would be located in this art gallery. I'm really excited about it.
That is exciting. Yeah. We walked around and went around the different public venues. There's so much art available to the public if they know it's there.
Yeah. You know, a part of my job is also educating the public about what we have, but also educating the people, the artists and the organizations that we have here to their potential, I basically act like a coach. My background as an artist and as an arts administrator has brought me here. And I get a thrill out of seeing these creations and being someone that can, being a tool to help others put together that sense of identity. And I think going forward, as Carson City creates its own unique creative profile, that's going to have a real economic benefit. It's going to be a tourist drive, but it's also going to be someplace that our own community members and residents and citizens can be really proud of.
Well, we will keep our eye out, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Happy to host you here in
Thank
Carson
you.
City. Please come back.
I will. I will.
Thanks.